Let's all play What's My Line? And now let's meet this week's What's My Line panel. If you see a funny face pedaling a bicycle on the New York City streets, it's our leadoff man, GeneRayburn.
Hello there. Thank you, Johnny-O. Here is a very chic lady. She's beautifully dressed and coiffed today, and she's brainy and a good game player, Miss Gail Sheldon.
And here's our international film star, Berv Convy.
Thank you. Our next guest really needs no introduction. Everybody knows who she is. The very famous, ArleneFrancis.
And now, a man who is loaded with sunshine vitamin C, Wally Brune.
Thank you, Arlene. Well, is everyone set again?
Right.
Yes, right.
Right.
And I won't mention anything about clothes, right, Bert?
No.
Never you mind.
Never me mind? Okay. Well, on that note, we'll just say maybe something will come out as the day goes on, but we'll have to find out later. You ready to meet our first challenger?
Yes, we're ready.
Will you enter and sign in, please? Malory Khan. Miss Khan, where are you from?
I'm from Winthrop, Massachusetts.
All right, panel. Little Valerie Khan is 16 years old.
No.
And she has been in show business for 4 years, and now let's show the audience just what her line is. I'll remind you that Valerie is in some form of show business. You're to find out where or what and so forth, and we'll begin with that expert on show business, GeneRayburn.
Thank you, Wally. What? And get out of show business? You know, for a second, it sounded like she's been 16 years old. She's been in show business 40 years, is the way I heard it first. But let's see. Now, Miss Khan, when you do your thing in show business, do you wear something other than street clothes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And is movement involved in whatever it is you do?
Not any more so than normal movement in conversational activity and so forth. So we have to give you no idea.
No, you don't have to give me a no on that. If
Yes,
she's an
we
actress,
do.
she walks across stage, that's movement, right?
Wrong. One down.
No, 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 no. Valerie, do you work out of doors?
Sometimes.
Do you ever work in an enclosure, a tent, or something like that?
No.
Two down. Bert.
Thank you. 16. It's a shame. Are you, do you do this thing that you do, is it rather physical, would you say?
No.
Not really
You wouldn't say
rather
that?
physical. Three
You could've
down.
said-
Arlene.
Is there any music going when you do what you do?
No.
Four down. Gene.
You're really trying to stump us today, aren't you?
Yes.
All right, so there's no music, and she's obviously not a juggler or any with a circus or anything like that, and she's not an actress.
Now cut that out.
And
You just received 4 no's.
I'm reviewing all the no's we've had so far. Are there other people involved?
No.
5 down. Gail.
Come on, gang.
Are there props involved?
Sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
Are the props ever made of wood?
I think we might. I don't know if they really are. We sometimes might think so.
Is there any kind of ventriloquism involved in what you do?
That's it. But Malory Khan is a ventriloquist. She is 16 years old and has been performing at children's parties, club dates, and fairs since she was 12. But she brought her partner along with him. May we meet him now?
Certainly.
Okay, let's see if I can find him back here. Well, look what I have right here. How about that? And may I ask just who this fellow is, Valerie?
Certainly. Alexander, introduce yourself.
Hello there. I'm Alexander. How are you today?
Ah, well, we're just fine, Alexander, and may I say that we would like very much to welcome you to What's My
Oh,
Life?
thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, how did Alexander come about, Valerie?
Well, Alexander came, my uncle Al, who's a comedian in Boston, lent me Alexander, but actually he's mine.
But,
Right, well, I
why this
decided-
type of character, though?
Right, I wanted something, jovial and happy to make people laugh, and also something that was quite debonair, and I think Alexander is.
Well, who makes up the routines?
My father writes some of them, and Alexander helps him along.
Was your father ever in show
Yes,
business?
my
or-
father was the original Superman, and he posed for the comic strips, and he was in the original movies.
In the original movies?
Right.
Oh, very good. Well, what sort of routines do the two of you do?
Oh, we do dialogues and monologues, and we do a singing duet, and Alexander also does a mind-reading act.
Oh, that's
A mind-reading act?
Yes, a mind-reading act.
Alexander, I hate to take advantage of you right here on the show, but would you
Would you
mind?
like to see it?
Oh, I'd love to.
I'd like
Yes.
to do it for you.
Right,
You just
right.
can't imagine
Oh,
how
I'd
much.
love to see it.
Are you sure?
Yes, please. Oh, now you're not going to blindfold Alexander.
Oh, yes, of course. And to make this even more difficult, Alexander has been a student of ESP. And as I said before, to make this even more difficult, we're going to turn Alexander's head while you hold something up for Alexander to tell you what it is.
How about that? Well, why don't we start with GeneRayburn?
All righty.
What?
Go right ahead.
What?
All right, well, tell him what you want him to do.
All right. I want you to hold up anything you like.
You have something in your pocket, Gene? Or,
Yeah, now, wait a minute.
And I'm going to tell you what it is.
This is the worst put-on I've ever been involved in my life. All right, Alexander,
Doesn't
I
have
got that
anything to
thing.
hold up.
I'm holding it.
Well, all right, I'm thinking.
All right, Alexander, what do you think it could possibly be?
Yeah,
Well,
give a guess.
Let me think now. It's well, it's long.
Yeah?
Watch it, Alexander.
And it's, what did he say?
Remember, she's only
Well.
16.
All right, and it's, black.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a pen. It's a flare pen.
Hey, how about that? Very good. All right, well, let's see. Now, should we take Alexander's blindfold off?
Yes, take it off.
All right, come over here, Al.
I'm so
You look good with a bow in your hair, Alexander.
I'm glad you like it.
Now, I understand you also sing a song.
Oh,
now and then.
yes.
Would you mind?
I'd love to.
Good.
All right, Alexander, why don't I start?
I want to start.
All right, Alexander, go ahead.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he had a duck, E-I-E-I-O, with a quack quack here and a
Quack, quack,
there, air quack, there a quack, and there a quack quack.
old
MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Alexander, thank you so very much. And Valerie, thank you. We enjoyed having you on What's My Line. Would you say goodbye to the panel, please? What's My Line will continue right after this word.
All What's My Line contestants receive St. Mary's fine quality automatic electric blanket Jubilee that's machine washable and dryable. St. Mary's instant high fashion for your bed and bath. And a fabulous shimmering rhinestone necklace and earring set designed by Sarah Coventry called Crystal Snowflake for a touch of after five elegance by Sarah Coventry. and an AM/FM portable radio powered by the long-lasting Duracell battery. Made by the Malory Battery Company, Duracell, the long-distance power cell that lasts far longer than ordinary batteries, Wally.
Thank you, Johnny Olson. That was fun.
Oh,
Oh,
marvelous.
she was
delightful.
excellent.
Just great.
Really good.
Very, very good. But here's something that's going to be a double challenge for you. So will you enter and sign in now? Gary Cuozzo. Billy Cannon. I don't know. I don't think we quite qualify for the front line here. I'm a little bit too small to fit in with these two guys, but to people who know football, I don't think these two fellows need an introduction.
They certainly
To
don't.
the left is Gary, of course, who plays quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, and next to me, tied in for the Oakland Raiders, BillyCannon. Now, it so happens that these two gentlemen have another way of making a living aside from football, and let's show the audience just what their other line is. I'd like to remind you again, panel, that they both have identical second occupations. That occupation is a service, and we'll begin the questioning with Arlene.
Thank you, gentlemen. Delighted to have you on the program. Does your occupation have anything to do with food and drink?
I'd say no.
No, not really. One down, GeneRayburn.
Nothing to do with food and drink. Is it the kind of offbeat occupation that we would not normally associate with muscular, athletic gentlemen such as you?
Well, I don't know if you would not normally associate it. I don't think you would necessarily associate it either. So I don't think we could really I'll let that
All right.
question pass because I hate to describe their occupation in any way as offbeat.
All right. Now, when this service is provided, do both men and women avail themselves of the service?
Yes.
Yes.
They do. And is the service done in the home?
No, not usually.
Two down, Gail Sheldon.
Are you both involved in this service together?
You mean it like a partnership?
Yes.
Same service, but separate.
Same service but separate,
That's a
so they
no,
are
I
not
know.
together, and that's a no. Three down, Bert.
Yes. This service, would you say that it is completely divorced from athletics?
Yes, that's
Definitely.
Is it really more of a intellectual kind of service rather than a physical service?
It's a little bit of each, I'd say. It's
Yeah,
not too
I think I might think it'd be slightly more one than the other, but I'm
Some
sure
people
that
think it's more physical.
I'm sure that that it is about equal.
It's about equal. Now, in this service, would I come to you for this service? I would come to you and say, can you guys help me out?
Yes. Sure would.
I would, huh? If I came to you and asked for you to help me out, you would then have to go someplace else to do this service? Or could
If
you
you
do
came
it?
to them,
Yes.
Usually you'd come to where we are.
I'd come to where you are.
so
and
you would not go someplace else, and that's four down,
You're a
Arlene.
tricky devil.
Is it possible, now you said something about you wouldn't want anybody to think their service was offbeat, but I'm not going to be led down the garden
I
path
said I would not describe their occupation as offbeat.
as offbeat, but I can rule out music, can't I?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have anything to do with the police force?
No.
No.
Hopefully not. Five down, Gene.
Do you have, is the service involved with children in any way?
Sometimes.
Sometimes children. So that it's possible a whole family would come to you to have this thing done. Is it
Different
likely
times.
that I would avail myself of your service?
Yes. Do you have a guess, Gene? Our time is up.
You run a diaper service.
I'm flipping all of the cards, and may I tell you that both Gary and Billy are dentists. Not only are they dentists, but they're both studying to be orthodontists at Loyola University. Did you go to the same dental school?
Yes.
Where, in
University of Tennessee.
University of Tennessee. Well, how's it possible to play football and you know, do graduate work in dentistry?
They're used to
We're out,
drilling.
we're out of Loyola in Chicago, and the head of the department out there, Dr. Hilgers, has made it available that we can go during the off season and still continue to play football. Is what we did at Tennessee for 7 springs.
I see.
We just finished this year.
Did playing pro ball, I mean, kind of the rough and tumble game, have anything to do with either of you deciding to be a dentist? Did you lose any teeth, fellas, either one of you?
I've just lost one, but it was right in front.
It's good practice, Wally. I've seen BillyCannon remove a few teeth in his career, I can assure you.
Safely to say, I've never moved any on the football field, believe me. Only mine.
Well, why did you decide to be orthodontists?
Well, in my case, my brother's an orthodontist in New Jersey, and my dad's in general practice of dentistry in New Jersey. So it's kind of been in the family, and my sister's a hygienist, and her husband is a dentist, and his father's a dentist. So we need a few.
How'd they happen to get a football player in the family
It was
anyway?
an accident.
Well, fellas, we're delighted that you could join us today, and you did stump the panel and win the game. Good luck in all the seasons ahead for you on the football field, and I think you have a already established clientele with you know the guys that you've been working
Thank
out
you.
with. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
We'll be back to meet a mystery guest as What's My Line continues.
Promotional consideration furnished by American Airlines. And whether you're traveling on business or for fun, it's good to know you're on American Airlines. By the way, if you're planning to be in New York City and would like to attend one of our broadcasts, write for tickets to What's My Line, 51 West 52nd Street, New York, New York, 10019. Please be sure to write the word tickets on the envelope.
Since the blindfolds are almost already in place, there we go, Bert and Arlene, they securely on. Let's meet our mystery challenger, so will you enter and sign in, please? Panel, you know the rules of the game, one question at a time. You have 2 minutes to try and establish our mystery guest's identity, and we'll begin with Gail Sheldon.
Thank you, Wally. Mystery guest, are you a performer who appears on television?
Sometimes.
Bert.
Are you appearing in the theater in New York now?
No.
Arlene.
Well, you sound terrific anyway.
Just ask the questions, Arlene.
Do you, wait till I think of what I want to ask him. Are you associated with music in any way?
Yes.
You bet, baby.
Gene.
Yeah. Could you, by any chance, have a daughter who went to camp with my daughter?
No.
Oh, then you're not the guy I'm thinking of.
Gail.
Do you sing?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Bert.
Oh, I had a wonderful idea, and it didn't go with that. You sing. Well, that narrows it down to about 450 people, doesn't it? Do you sing primarily jazz, would you say? Rather than, as opposed to rock?
No.
Arlene.
Are you singing in a club or a room in New York now?
No.
All right.
Gene.
Not singing at a club or a show. Did we establish he's singing on the stage someplace? Did anybody ask that?
Yes.
Yes, he's not, right? Okay. Are you just passing through town? Have you got a record now that's a big seller?
No.
Perpetually.
Perpetually.
Gail.
Have you ever had a television show of your own?
No.
Bert.
Well, I hear a lot of things in that voice. It sounds a lot like Arthur Prysock, but it isn't, is it?
No, it isn't, is it? Arlene.
Did you sing with a group and then go single?
Yes.
Oh. Well,
If you have a guess, Gene, take it. Our
it's
time
Ed
is up.
Ames, right?
No.
No.
Arlene, do you have a guess?
No, I
Take
don't.
off your blindfolds and meet Frankie Avalon.
Yeah. So I started.
You know,
I didn't know that either, Frankie.
Yeah, I was with a group in Philadelphia called Rocco and the Saints.
do you
That's
know?
how I started.
It's incredible how things happen. I mentioned your name today driving down to the show. I don't know. I was having a discussion with my wife, and we were talking, and your name came up in
Is
the
that
conversation. And why didn't it hit me again? Stupid. That's why.
Fine.
What says you said no to your records are always selling?
Well, I've had.
And you have a new one out?
I've had records that were big sellers. I've got a new one now called "Come On Back to Me, Baby," which I'm promoting. So it isn't really. It came out yesterday, as a matter of fact.
How many records do you think you've sold in your career? Have you any idea?
Yeah, it's. I think it's about right now a little over 10 million.
Have you found that you've changed much since you began? Has your music changed that much for you since you started?
Well, yeah, my voice has gotten deeper. That's the thing. When I first started, you know, I was about 17, 18 years old, and of course, to do all the songs that I had hits on, which I still get requests to do, I had to take all the keys down. So,
a little hard to hit the
yeah,
high
sure.
notes.
Can't get up there anymore.
But it sounds great down where it is right now.
Sounds something delicious.
All right.
Thank you.
Arlene can hardly wait to be kissed, so Frankie, may I say thank you very much.
Thank you.
For joining us on What's My Line. Frankie Avalon! What's My Line will continue right after this word. Now, panel, honest answers to questions from our audience. From Kenneth Chapman of Long Island, New York, to Berv Convy.
Yes, sir.
Do many people mistake you for Tom Jones?
Oh, yes. It's never happened before in my life, except earlier this week when Michael Caine said he thought I looked like Tom Jones, and I was very flattered. No, it doesn't happen very often. It's happened, but not very often.
And from Dorothy Lake of Miami Beach to ArleneFrancis, what is your escape or relaxation from working hours, hobby or more enjoyable work?
People mistaking me for Tom Jones.
No.
No. I like to work. That's what I like to do when I relax.
That's true. To GeneRayburn, who do you consider the best-dressed actor in show business?
Bert Convy. Look at him.
Look at that.
He's a veritable peacock.
Oh, and here's one for Bert. Do you have two identical suits? No. Thank you for your honest answer. Oh, that's it. That's it for another session. I hope you can be in for some more fun tomorrow, please, on What's My Line?
This is Johnny Olson speaking for What's My Line, a Mark Foots and Bill Todman production.
Are you watching, you little rascals?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it? And who subscribes to it?
Go on. Push the button.
Think of the fun you could have on the tube. The tube?
You.
Tube. TV tubes.
That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's going to be a lot more fun if you keep going the way you're going.
Go on. Push the button.
Please subscribe.
I hope they're watching.